Kill me! I'm here! Kill me!
Hey everybody, this is Matthew Movies coming at you with my review of Teen Wolf, the 1985 comedy classic cheese fest that I absolutely love. Not the TV show that is loosely based on, that I've never seen. And, you know, it might be awesome, but it's just not, I'm not looking for it. I remember seeing it when it comes out, being like, ooh, Teen Wolf series, maybe I'll check that out. And then seeing the poster, and it looked like the latest adaptation of, like, Gossip Girl or something like that, where there's this overly emotive characters, and I was like, yeah, that's not my Teen Wolf. I'm good. This movie stars Michael J. Fox, who is one of my all-time favorite actors. Always will be. I mean, the guy hasn't been in too much lately. He had a show a couple years back that was mediocre. But based on Back to the Future alone, will always be right up there for me. And I remember watching this movie almost as much as I watched Back to the Future as a kid, and absolutely loving it. For those of you who don't know what this movie is about, first off, come on, where you been? How could you not know Teen Wolf? Unless you're younger than I am by a considerable margin, because then I completely understand how you don't know Teen Wolf. It hasn't exactly, it's not exactly the rage. It wasn't that huge of a movie even when I was a kid. It was one that was shown on TV a lot, and we had a recording of it that I watched often at nauseum at the time. But I can understand how somebody would not know it. Now that I say it, I guess it's understandable. I'll allow it, I suppose. But basically, Michael J. Fox plays the main character, a guy the name is Scott Howard. And as the movie progresses, he's a teenager. He plays on a basketball team. He has a job. He has a girl that he's infatuated with. He has a few best friends. Likes to go out and have a good time. And all of a sudden, one night, he starts turning into a werewolf. And he goes to his dad, and he's all freaked out. And it turns out his dad was a werewolf too. And it runs in the Howard family. And it's this thing that they have to cope with. And then as the movie progresses, he instead of becoming like a werewolf like you see in classic horror movies where they become these bestial beings that are out of control, in this world the werewolves are just guys that, you know, have hair all over their bodies, their ears get longer, and they're really good at athletics apparently, because Scott uses his teen wolfing abilities to become a basketball hero, because that's what you do, obviously, if you're a werewolf who's in your teens, right? I mean, how else are you going to become popular just because you're a werewolf? And it's not even like his character is portrayed as being like super unpopular beforehand. He's just kind of, he's on the upper echelon, even, I would say. Maybe middle of the road, but probably upper echelon. And like I said, it's a ludicrous concept. Even to this day, I'm like, what? Basketball? But when you watch it, you're like, haha, basketball. Or at least if you buy into it. And there's so many other things about this movie that are remarkable. First off, it has one of the funniest, like, supporting characters ever, by the name of Coach Bobby Finstock. There is this scene where Scott goes to him, looking for advice on how he's gonna basically handle all of his various responsibilities at work and to the team and to his friends and all that. And he starts telling this story about how he had a student that came to him with a very similar problem, and the way the story ends is just one of the funniest things I've ever seen to this day. And it's played like as if it's this really emotional speech throughout most of it, and then when it ends, you're like, oh man, and it's not like this big beat. On the face of it, if it's not something, if you just, I remember watching it as a kid, being like, I don't get that scene, but as an adult, I'm like, oh man, that is hilarious. One of the funniest things I've ever seen. You can probably look it up. You look up Coach Bobby Finstock on YouTube and just have a good laugh with me, because man, is that funny. And then there's these other supporting characters. One of the most interesting things about this movie is the names. Like Bobby Finstock, that's a pretty funny name. Then one of his friends that he is close to is this girl by the name of Boof. She goes by Boof. Her character name is actually Lisa, but everybody calls her Boof. And then he has a friend that's Styles, and it's just, it gives you an idea of the type of writing that you have here. I mean, come on. how many movies these days would get away with having a main character by the name of Boof? I love this movie. It just kills me. It's so ludicrous and silly, and the way in which this guy becomes super popular because he's a werewolf. And there's like there's this B storyline where there's the theater teacher, the director. He wants him to come star in his play so that he can use his popularity to bring people in. And so Scott shows up like a normal human being. And he's like, no, I need the wolf. And like so he comes out in this like colonial outfit, and you're like, what am I watching here? It's just so ridiculous and so funny. If you can buy into it, it's just a perfect 80s cheese fest ridiculousness, and I will love it until the day I die. So those are my thoughts on Teen Wolf. Let me know in the comments below where it lands in your heart. If you're my age and you watched it growing up all the time on TV, used to be played on TBS all the time back in the day, let me know that. Please hit the like button, hit the share button. It does awesome things for my channel. It makes it much more likely that people who aren't already here will find out about my stuff, and that would just absolutely mean the world to me, especially sharing. I mean, that just is so amazing. If anybody who would be willing to do that, I'd be endlessly appreciative. Please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell if you're new here. That way you can find out when I put out new videos and come and check them out. Let me know what you think. That would just absolutely make my day. I love seeing the views and the subscribers go up, because I love seeing those comments and hearing what you guys think. I love talking movies about people. Very passionate about it, as you probably can tell by the channel and then the way I speak on my videos, and it just would absolutely mean the world to me. Other than that, have yourself a great day. Hey everybody, this is Matthew Movies coming at you with my review of Teen Wolf, and I am talking, when I talk about Teen Wolf, about the 1985 cheesy 80s ridiculous movie, not the film